In CSS theory, there is a property called background clip, which is used to specify where the background color or background image should be displayed within the element. Here we have three options, that is border box, padding box, and content box. The default value is border box. So first of all, what are these border box, padding box, and content box? To understand this, we have to switch back to the box model which we have covered in the previous sections. If you look at the box model, we have three things, that is content, padding, border, and also margin, totally four things. The content is the actual text or information of your element. And of course, the padding is the space between border and the content. And this is padding bottom and this is padding left. And outside the padding, we have border, that is border top, border right, border bottom, and border left. And then outside the border, we have margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. In this context, if you consider only the content, so this particular rectangle shape is called as content box. And if you include padding inside the same, so this particular rectangle is the padding box, which includes padding as well as the content. And this particular box is called as border box, which includes border, padding, as well as the content, inclusive of all. For example, if you want to display the background color for the entire element, including content, padding, and border, then we have to specify border box in the property called background clip. Now I wish to apply background color only up to the padding but excluding the border. In that case, you need to set background clip padding box, which means that you wish to apply the background color only for the padding box, which includes content also, but exclusive of border. Now, I wish to apply background color or background image only for the content box, but not for padding, border, and margin. Then you need to set background clip as a content box. This is how do you understand border box, padding box, and content box. The default value is padding box. That means by default, your background color or background image gets applied for everything including padding. That means by default, if you set a background color or background image, that gets applied only for this particular box, which is padding box, which includes content and padding, but excluding the border as well as margin. Here, margin box is not at all recognized because margin is a space between one element to other element. Here we have only three options, that is content box, padding box, and border box. Here is how do you define. In case if you set background clip as content box, the background color gets applied only for content, but not for border and padding. If you set background clip as padding box, your background color or background image gets applied including content and padding only, but not for border and margin. In case if you set background clip as border box, your background color or background image will be applied for content, padding, and border, excluding only margin. Here there is no possibility for applying the background color for margin. Sorry, the default value of background clip is border box, but not padding box. Let me demonstrate the same practically. In the codes project, let's apply background clip for the state div tags and see how it is different. So currently we are writing the code in the states.html of C:\web folder, and let me remove the background image and background repeat property as well as background size. So only we have border and border radius and other properties, but we don't have background image property. So run this application by using open with live server. So we have the boxes without background. That means no background color and no background image as of now. And then let me apply dotted border but not solid border. Now it is like this. Now let us add background color for the same. So I'm just adding background -color as some color. For example, it is this kind of red color. So you can see the background color applied including border. So actually in this example, this box is the content box and this box is the padding box, which includes content as well as the padding. And this box finally is the border box, which includes border, content as well as padding. Currently, the default value of background clip is border box. So that is the reason it is applying the background color for the entire box includes the border. That is including the border, padding as well as the content. So that is why we can say the default value of the background clip property is border box. So even though we have added the same explicitly, there is no difference in the output because the default value of the background clip property is border box. Let me change it. For example, I am writing padding box instead of border box. And let's refresh. As you can see, the background color has been applied only up to the padding but excluding the border. See, the border has not changed from the previous. Only the background color is not covering backside of the border. The background color covers up only up to the padding. So this is the content box and this is the padding box. The background color covers up to the same, but it's not inclusive of the border box. Now let's change here. For example, I'm switching from padding box to content box. So as of now, border clip is content box. As you can see here, the background color got applied only for the content box, excluding the padding and border. This is what the understanding of background clip. And we have three options, that is content box, padding box and border box. The default value is border box. In real-time applications, based on your design, you can apply either of these depending on how you want to highlight the particular box. For example, you want to display the border outside the background color. In that case, you will use either content box or padding box. For example, if you don't want to display this gap for the padding, you will apply the background clip as padding box, but you want to display the space between the border and the background color, then you will apply the same as content box instead of padding box. This is how to use the background clip property in the real-world applications.